Actually start making TikToks for this type of music or reels, I think you will find a very big community actually, not even kidding. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube video, the second one, and again a reaction to your songs. Again, I'm a bit nervous, which is weird because I'm alone in my studio, but I think it is how it is. Yeah, today's exciting. I actually received 17 different songs of you, so short disclaimer, I can't react to all of them today. Those are way too many songs, but I will do my best to react to them over the next month, I think. So I will do a session today, the next one in 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks again a session. So I hope that I can cover all of your songs, and thank you also for sharing your music with me. I really appreciate it. I got the feedback from the last time that you would want me to not only to listen to the songs but also to give feedback, like how you could improve them from my standpoint and my experience. And I hope none of you gets mad at me for feedbacking. Yeah, but again, I think at the end of the day, all of us are still in development. All of us are developing our styles, our techniques in terms of how we produce, and no one is perfect. I think that's the most important thing to keep in mind. Music can always improve. We can always improve in the best way possible, and creativity is also a process in general. So yeah, please don't be offended and just have fun here. Okay, I think we can start. I will just go through the list and see who sent me the first song, and then we will react to them, which will be very exciting. So we got a first song for today, which is a song called Miracle by SHB. I couldn't find a song on Spotify, so we will listen to it on YouTube. YouTube, not YouTube. And yeah, will be interesting. I can't actually guess the genre just looking by its cover. Actually, it looks a bit like a ninja, stuff like that. Like, yeah, we'll see. Okay. Sounds like a drum machine. Mm-hmm. Ooh, okay. Yeah. Very old school deep house. Love it. Haven't heard that in a while. Interesting one here is actually the fact that it's been a long time since I have listened to such a old school dance track in general, because I feel like dance music has evolved into so many directions at the moment, and it's very rare that you get artists nowadays making like this old school dance music. But that is the music I was actually dancing to when I was a teenager back in the days, like at open airs and stuff, and I enjoyed it so much. Yeah, it's giving like early days Disclosure, if you know what I mean. I hear a certain similarity to it, and very, very interesting that this type of music is still alive. Really enjoying it so far. Yeah. I really like the idea of having like you have this main chord progression that is going on, and it's the lead, like the center of the song in general, but it's switching in between instruments actually. So a different instrument is in the front at a different round, and I think that's a very interesting take actually on like having like on making music in general, because like you hear the same chord progression again and again, but the fact that it's changing in between instruments makes it a bit more interesting as for the listener, which is a clever trick because you don't have to think about so many different types of strategies to make the song more interesting by having like different, like a chorus, a verse, stuff like that. It's only basically the whole loop playing again and again, but with different instruments in the lead, like in the front. Very interesting take. Wow, okay. I think that's it for this song. Really like it actually. I think like okay, I need to focus on my feedback because my biggest problem is actually I try to be nice to everyone, so I try to please everyone. And it's very difficult for me, like outside of my friends group, to just give like hard, detailed, honest feedback because I think it's always important to encourage others other than like holding them down. But my first opinion on this one is actually I like the vibe in general. I don't know if this type of music works like on a bigger stage in general, just because like this type of dance music is a bit older. Don't get me wrong. I think it's good produced. The mix in general, I think the drums could be stronger in the mix. I think they're a bit too quiet for my personal taste, and I also feel like the spacing of the different instruments could be a bit broader. I know that this type of music is made especially for mono mixes and stuff like that, but I still feel that some elements could be spread on the left and on the right just to make the soundstage a bit bigger and to give more space, especially because like in the like after minute 3 and stuff, you get a lot of elements playing. Like you have the pluck, you have the chords, you have the drums in general, you have like this upper tone which is playing like a synthesizer, stuff like that. And I feel like those elements are quite crowded and also need a bit more carving in terms of the frequencies, just to give them a bit more space. But I really like it actually. I think it's a very good song. I think it's very well produced, especially for what it is actually. I think you can't look at it like from a like dance music perspective, like Fred again and stuff like that. But if you're like into Disclosure, like the old Disclosure and stuff like that, I think you will really enjoy this song, and it's actually a good job. So thank you SHB for sharing this one and to give me like a trip to my youth again. Okay, we got the next song, which is called Love Supreme from Drontmeier. I think the name's Drontmeier. Okay, the next song that we got is from an artist called Dronthymer or Drontymer. Yeah, difficult to pronounce the name. I hope I pronounce it right. And the song is Love Supreme. We'll give it a listen. Okay. Could be every genre. Oh, I love those samples, like those vocal chops. Ooh. Uh-huh. Very chill. Okay. Okay, first impression, I'm a sucker for like vocal samples and vocal chops in general, as you might know if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok or here on YouTube and listen to one of my songs. But I like the intro a lot actually, quite cozy. And then it switches into like late night drive dance music. But and then there's like this little drop, I would call it. in which the bass starts to wobble, and I really like this bass sound actually, and how the movement is here. Very distinguished sound actually, and very clean. It sounds a bit lo-fi in general. Like the whole production is not that ramped up in the higher ranges of the frequency spectrum, but very cool vibe, and also very very clean in terms of the production. As there's not a lot of stuff going on, which is also interesting. Okay. This is a very interesting production. It's funny because we're like the song we heard before, like Miracle, was very very old school, and this, for example, feels like we go into the future to a certain extent by adding a bit more modern elements. But there's also a lot of a lot of stuff happening. Actually, I feel like every 30 to 40 seconds we enter a new stage and we enter a new part of the song, which is very different from the part before, which is interesting in general. But it doesn't feel overwhelming, which is great. I really enjoy it so far. The fact that they implement so many different elements in here, but not all at the same time, but afterwards, actually is something I really appreciate. And it's still quite lo-fi, housey, and like, for example, the chords they have in there are very very old schoolish, but then like the bass and also like the part that's coming now feels like a bit modern. Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. Interesting synthesizer sound also here. Yeah. Yeah, this is a very good song, guys. Like Trondmeyer or Trondheimer, I don't know how to pronounce you guys, but very very good song. I can actually see here that they're making music since 2014, and you hear that there is experience. Those are experienced music makers actually, because this song is very chill, but had a lot of elements going on. It's happening a lot of stuff actually. The ending is a bit too crowded for me personally, but that's just my personal taste, because I feel like it's so lo-fi, and when it's so lo-fi and like a bit of higher frequencies, or the frequency range is a bit missing, it sounds a bit mumbled and a bit too crowded for me personally, but that's just my personal taste. But other than that, I feel that this is a well-curated song actually, and a well-produced song, and it's a song actually that could perform very good live, I think. Like I can see that being played as a festival and people would love it actually. That's very very good. I hope those guys actually play live, because I feel like this type of music is perfect to be played at an open air and stuff like that. It reminds me a lot of Stil for Talent actually, which was a label here in Germany, which was really really big like 10 years ago. I think they might be still big, I don't know that, but I haven't heard from them in a longer time. But Stil for Talent was like a label, or is a label, that was known for like this type of dance music, a bit more chill but very melodic, and to a certain extent also emotional dance music. And I feel this is this is actually a good example. And yeah, crazy, only not even 2,000 streams. I think that's a bit sad actually, because they did a great job with this one. So we got a next song, which is called No I Haven't, from an artist called Matt Staves. I hope I pronounced it right, buddy. Yeah, but I think so. We'll see. Oh, I saved it, which means that I think I forgot to react to it the last time actually, so I'm sorry for that, but we'll listen to it now. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Huh. Okay. That's very interesting. Please don't get distracted by my face. That's how I look when I think while listening to music. This is like not a judgment at all. This is an interesting one. Okay, first of all, I think this is a very ambitious track in general. I think I really enjoy listening to music that tries to be something different and tries to go further to what we have right now in the music landscape. And I feel like this song is something like that. This song is a mixture of like a bit of house, a bit of soul, a bit of like it feels also like a bit of beach house to a certain extent, but I think that might be only like the beat and also the guitar. There's a lot going on actually, and I'm not sure if I'm convinced or not at the moment, but I appreciate that you did it actually. So please don't get me wrong. I think we need to go a bit further to get the whole idea. Okay. Okay, a lot of stuff's happening, of course, and I really like the ideas that are in here because I think it's a cool mixture of like having like soul music, a bit of jazz, and also like beach house and house music in general, just pumped together in one song. And like the brass element, I don't know if it's trombone, I'm not sure about that. I can't distinguish them, but I don't think it's a trumpet. Well, you let me know in the comments. But I really like the ideas that are in here, but I feel like before before 1 minute 20, 1 minute 30, there are too many ideas crammed in too little time. What I mean by that is basically you have so many cool elements in here, but it feels like they're quite rushed. They're introduced one by one, but in a time span of like 10 to 15 seconds. And after that, a new element comes in, and after that, a new element comes in. And it's a bit too much happening for my personal taste, at least. And I feel like the ideas that you have in the song need a bit more space to be understood by the listener. And that's something very interesting because I think like from minute 30 to like 2 minutes 8, where we stop right now, you can hear that there's actually a good song here, and a song with a soul, and a song that's actually doing a lot with me actually while listening to it. But especially the beginning is a bit too confused and a bit too chaotic. And I think if you would have doubled those segments in terms of the time span, just for them to be understood and to be like memorized by the listener, it would have made this a bit easier experience to listen to the song. But nonetheless, I think it's a good idea. The mix in general could be a bit cleaner. I feel like it's a bit mushy, and I feel like the distribution of the different elements could be a bit brighter in terms of the soundstage. But I think it's very ambitious, and that's what I really like about it, actually. I think it's very cool that we have people making music that is not like type A music or like chart music and stuff like that, but going out there with something different. And this song it deserves more streams, of course. I really like it. I don't think that it's my type of music, but I think you can find a lot of people actually would enjoy that. So, guys, if you enjoyed this in general, please let me know in the comments and also follow Matt Stays as he needs more listeners. Okay, next up we got Neov. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but the song is called Golden Hour, which is his second place song in Spotify. We'll give it a listen. We'll see.
It's like golden hours.
Okay. This is the case like the Flume song the last time. If you guys remember, I heard like 2 seconds and I knew which kind of genre it would be. This feels, of course, like a Fred Again song, like Fred Again type song, which is no judgment, like nothing bad about that one. Because, like, for example, Swimming Paul is doing that a lot too. Not copying, but using similar techniques to Fred. But there's nothing bad about it because Fred is huge. So, yeah, that's not a bad idea at all.
Appreciate how nice it is. Golden hours. It's like it's like golden hours.
Good sample.
It's like it's like golden hours. Like, wow. Golden hours.
Okay, it's going a bit of a different direction I expected it to go. But first of all, this Golden Hours sample is very good and it's very close to what Fred would do with it, at least in my opinion. And that's really, really good already. I like the vibe actually, because you expect something a bit more chill and then it has like this energetic synth. Sounds like a sawtooth wave that is going on there. Interesting. I feel like there's a bass, actually, a bass line being underneath it that sounds pretty interesting, but it's a bit too quiet, actually, unfortunately, because I think it sounds like this is a good idea. It's a good idea.
It's like it's like golden hours. Like, wow.
Okay.
If you know me, don't make fun of me.
Okay, we'll see what the drop brings us. If it's a different drop or the same one.
Don't make fun of me. It's like don't make fun of me.
Okay. First of all, thank you for sharing. This is an interesting one in terms of my expectations and what I got actually. But let me start with this. Well-produced song. Especially appreciate the drums in here. The drums sound very, very good. Like the whole segment of drums, like having this fill-ins in there. Very classy and very well managed. I feel like the star of this track could be the bass line if it was exposed like once, like played only with the drums. I think that would be great because I feel like the bass line movement in general sounds very interesting to me. And the bass in general sounds good to me, but it was a bit too quiet, at least in my personal opinion, to listen it. But really cool. I feel like the synth, like the main synthesizer that's playing the drop, might be good if it had a bit more like side chaining, because I like what you're doing there, but it feels a bit static in comparison to the rest of the song. I hope you don't get me wrong, because I like the idea you're doing here, but I feel like if it had a bit more pump to it, a bit more side chaining, it would be a bit more in the flow of the whole drum set and stuff like that, and would give it a bit more of movement. Especially the sample is like very, very good, and I feel like the use of the sample is also very good, because I feel sometimes it's so difficult to use just one sample in your song and to not make it boring, and I think like Nevo did a very good job in implementing it without it getting boring at all, and in a way that also have a certain vibe to it. Yeah, I just wish that there would be a segment of just the bass line and the beat just going on at the end or in the middle maybe with the sample. I think that would be the good like a good mix, because like having bass line, beat, and just this golden hour samples would have been a hit, I think. But please don't get me wrong, you do what you did, and I think you had a great idea with this one. And in general, guys, also, if you enjoyed this song, let it follow at Nevo and listen to more of his songs, because he had like decent streams actually, which is pretty good. I think we can continue, and we're going to do the last song for today, which is Ice Cultivate from Jonas von Dark, which is funny because like if you have seen the series Dark, there was like an artist called like the character called Jonas, and yeah, he just copied the name, which is funny to a certain extent. We'll see. I think it's the first time actually someone sent me German music also, which is interesting too. We'll go.
Willst du mein Spekulatius sein, weil ich will dich vernaschen. Lad dich auf einen Kuss ein, join and enjoy. Ein warmer Kuss tut gut und es muss sein, weil wir spüren den Love-Funkenflug. Ich glaub, ich bin verliebt, verliebt in dich so deep, dass man nicht den Boden sieht. Also bitte lass die Lava nicht zu Stein werden, weil an diesen Schmerzen werd ich mehr als einmal sterben. Und wir schlittern auf den Schlittschuhen durch die eiskalte...
Wow. I didn't expect that at all. The thing is, basically, normally people send me like dance music, right? So I was expecting some kind of dance music. But Jonas from Dark, first of all, for everyone who doesn't know it, I'm German, so I understand what he's saying. That's actually such a cute song. The production sounds very simple at the beginning, but I think it's actually pretty cute. And I think for some of you guys it might be a bit difficult to understand the text in general. Okay. Let me put it like this. Here in Germany, I think it's interesting. There's a certain wave of music, like pop music in general, tends to have like very cheesy texts, and it's not like British cheesy or US cheesy or like Australian cheesy. It's German cheesy, and German cheesy means to a certain extent to be a bit funny, like being ironic without being too ironic. I hope you know what I mean. So the thing is here, basically, I just checked his his bio, and he wrote basically that I make music I like to make, and it's most of the time Süßmaus pop. Süßmaus is like a thing in German actually, which we use for like someone sweet in general. If someone is very sweet, very cute, we call them Süßmaus, like in certain parts at least of Germany. Some friends of mine used it actually a lot, and he makes cute pop basically, and that's what you hear when you listen to the song. I was just so surprised when I listened to it the first time, because normally people send me dance music because they know I'm a dance artist, or at least electronic music artist, so I expected like full-blown dance music in German, I guess, but that's not the case at all, and it's very interesting. But thanks for sharing actually. We're going to listen further.
Aber mir ist warm, denn ich weiß, wer meine Hand hält. Wir schlittern auf den Schlittschuhen durch die eiskalte Welt. Aber dir ist warm, denn du weißt, wer deine Hand hält.
Let me say one thing actually. I might be laughing, but the production is not that bad actually. I think it's like for 80s pop, it's very good produced. The mix could be a bit more balanced. I feel like the drums again are a bit too quiet, and frequencies are a bit all over the place. But in general, this is not a bad production. This is not my vibe at all, but it's not a bad production. And I honestly feel like to you, Jonas, I will call you just Jonas as you say it here in Germany, if you actually start making TikToks for this type of music or reels, I think you will find a very big community actually. Not even kidding. I think this is the type of music that people listen to because it's funny, and then they listen to it again because they think it's still funny, and after the third time listening to it, they actually really enjoy it, low key. You know what I mean? So I know you said in your bio that you only make music you like to do and just for fun maybe, but try to make like funny, silly videos with this type of music, and you will find a very big fan base, I think, because this type of music works actually in German speaking countries. I don't know why, because it's not my vibe, but there's like an artist called Young Huan actually, which is like an Austrian rapper, which got famous in Germany for a song called Nine, which is something that you need to listen for yourself to get what I mean. It's a song that has like trap beat, and he raps in such a bad way to a certain extent, but it's also funny because it sounds so unprofessional that it makes it entertaining while you listen to it, and it worked really, really good. And he kept on doing that type of music, and he had like a big fan base actually. And this is better produced, I think, than the Nine song from Young Hoon, but it's also silly to a certain extent, and it doesn't mean that disrespectful at all. But I think funny TikTok videos to this song and will go viral. Yeah, I would think that actually. Not like internationally, but at least like in the German sphere. And that's a very, very interesting. Yeah. So big ups actually, Jonas. I like that you sent me this one. I really enjoyed listening to it actually. I don't think I will listen to it again. But I think it's so great to see also like people just having fun making music and making their type of music without being bothered by charts, by stuff like that, just doing their own stuff and releasing it also. I think, look at him. He has only 53 monthly listeners, which might sound not a lot, but it is actually a good amount, especially if you make music just for yourself. Look, he's listened to in Munich, Stuttgart, Frankfurt, Hamburg, and Cologne. This is actually pretty good. Which means that different people listen and enjoy this type of music. And that's the thing that I just can say to all of you guys, especially to those who haven't released a song yet. Just start sharing your music. It doesn't matter how many listeners you got. It doesn't matter how many fans you got, actually. You don't need to go viral. You will not write. The first song you will release will not be like a big hit. But there might be people out there who will enjoy it and will be happy actually to listen to that. And the fact that, for example, this other song, Warmer Regen, which is also a very interesting title, has over 1,000 streams. And I think a lot of people out there don't even have 1,000 streams on one song. So big ups for Jonas von Dark. Yeah, that's all I can say. I thought it would be the last song, but I couldn't give real feedback to the last one because like it's like so out of my sphere. And I feel like it's perfect for a certain niche of people that I thought we will do one last song, which is a song called Your Love by You and I. Very interesting artist name, actually. You and One, but I think you want to say You and I, just written differently. Your Love is the number one song here on the Spotify profile. We'll give it a listen, and this will be the last one for today.
I was giving you one more shot.
Whew. Okay, calling out my own bias, looking at the profile, seeing that he only has 6 monthly listeners, I didn't expect that type of a song at the beginning, but this song starts very, very strong. Like, I know I've only heard like 2 seconds of it, or 4 seconds of it, but if it goes in the direction I think it will be a banger. Wow, surprised. What?
I never learned to get your love.
That's the reason why I love to do those videos, guys. Like, yeah, unexpected. The song before was unexpected. This one is too. Like, those first 15 seconds have so much quality in there. There's so much going on, but the vocals are very strong. The bass, like the synthesizer going on there, is also very strong. And like this filtered kick at the moment, like I'm expecting like certified banging music right now. Not even kidding.
I was giving you all my time. There was no messing up. Half a rose and broken place were calling.
Wow.
I never forget your
love. Okay. Yeah, that's what happens when you're biased, guys. I looked at the profile, only 6 monthly listeners, and I thought this might be a cool track, but I didn't expect a track with this level of quality. I'm a bit stunned right now. This is a crazy production. Crazy. Very dark. I feel like this is the type of music that they would play in Berghain. Never been there, but like imagine this type of drop is music they're dancing to like 24/7. At least in my opinion.
I never forget your love.
Wow. You and I, who are you actually? You're making music since you're 14 and you're 27 now. Yeah, I can hear that actually. This is like, I think the song before was surprising, but I think this is the biggest surprise for today at least. And this is not a discredit to the other songs we listened to before, because every song was good that was sent today. They're just different in terms of I experienced them. But the production level of this one is superior to all of them, respectfully. This is crazy. The fact that this person has only like 6 monthly listeners, you can see my reaction actually. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's not peak music production, but it's close to it. I think the drop is a bit too reverb heavy, and it's a bit difficult to hear like the core bass melody in here. But it's a very, very, very good production. And you can hear actually that the person that produced this is very experienced. You can hear that. It's not... People think often that making music is easy because you have samples nowadays, but reaching this level of production is not possible only by using samples, especially not if you don't got experience. But you hear that this person has a lot of experience, and it feels like this is one of those guys or girls who make music like for a long time, but they never release their music to a broader audience. And it's crazy that people with that level of technique only have like 6 listeners. Sorry if I talk too much right now, but this is insane. You and I, if you're seeing this right now, please rethink what you're doing and start sending your music to labels. Start sending your music like to playlisters, because you have like if your level of production is really, really good. Like, not even kidding. This song, like it is, might need a bit of changes in the drop, but slightly changes, just to hear the bass melody a bit more. But this song would be signed straight away. 100%. Not even kidding. 100%. This is so much quality in here. So much experience in here. Mad respect, mad respect.
Have frozen from your place with party. I never thought I'd get your love. I was living there was no messing up. Have frozen from your place with party.
Honestly, there's not much I can say about this one. I will say it again. This song would be signed instantly. I think the only problem might be that there's not a big social media game going on, maybe. Do yourself a favor, actually. Reach out to labels. This is at the stage where people will sign you, actually. If you have this level of production with every song you make, you're on verge of having a career. Don't know if it will get big or small. It's always difficult to see that, because at the end of the day, good music is not the only part that you need in this industry. But in terms of like production quality and talent, there's no doubt that this would go, like, a lot of people would love it. Like, hearing that in a song, people would go wild. Not even kidding. So impressed right now. And again, to the others I listened before, this is not a disrespect to anyone, but I feel like there is music that is cool and is joyful to listen to, and there is music where you listen to and realize, okay, this is a different level. And what I mean by that is, like, in general, everyone making music, first of all, props to just share your music, but I feel like there are levels to music production to a certain extent, and you can hear if someone is in the earlier stages, in the middle stages, or like full, like, blown producer. And this is a case of someone who I would assume has to be a major, has to be a label. And yeah, I would like to give more feedback, but there is not much I can say. Actually, there is not much I can say. This is actually crazy impressive. Well done. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Actually, I have still 11 songs left, which I will react to in the next round. I really enjoyed this actually today. It was very different from the first one. Very different songs actually from the first one. Again, thank you so much for sharing your music. Actually, I really appreciate that you guys trust me with your music and that I can showcase it to my followers. If I was too harsh with my feedback, please let me know in the comments. I try to be as respectful as I can and also to help you guys with what I say. But of course, it's very difficult to communicate feedback in a way that does not hurt, especially when it comes to music, because music is something so personal. But I hope that you understand that I try to do that. I say that to help you guys. That's all I can say for today, actually. Thank you for spending time with me. It was fun. I will actually do that more often. I really enjoy it. I don't have the time to do it that often, but every time I sit here and record it, oh no, it's only second time, but second time I'm recording here, I'm really enjoying it. It's so fun. It's so enjoyable. And yeah, I think I would like to do it also on Twitch one day, like having like live reactions, you guys in the chat, stuff like that. That would be also funny. I think it would be a bit more interacting to a certain extent, because I could give feedback and you could react to it directly. Let me know in the comments actually if that's a good idea or not. From my side, a lot of new music's actually on verge of coming and dropping soon. I am working so hard actually to give you guys the best music possible at the moment. There will be quite a few surprises, I think, and something that you will really enjoy. Love you guys. Thank you for sharing your time with me, and have a good one. Bye.
I got enough for my